All right, hello, it's Mike with Itty Bitty Micro Farm again, and today we are going to be going over Seedleaf. It's an app program that's on the web browser for you using this technology for the microgreen grow. So again, we're going to go over the Seedleaf program today, how we use it, and how we think it's great for the app to use. So that's what we're going to go over today. For anybody that's here, let me get to the app. All right, technical difficulty, but I found it. All right, so I'm gonna go over this app. The Hello Mitchell. We're going to go over the Seedleaf program. I'm gonna go ahead and show that here, and how to use it, and why we love it, and everything else. Because we used to use spreadsheet, and now we are using the app. Basically, how we use the spreadsheet, but it's just so much easier to use this app. And an app it's Chrome, it's Windows based, but you can get it on your phone if you just use a Windows. But mainly on our tablet and our computer, we use it. So I love this little taskbar here. This is for the week, so you got your week at a glance. So all your harvest dates, and we harvest on Monday, Saturday, and Sunday right now. These are the harvest dates, and that's because we got some weekend stuff coming up that we're doing. So that's that. How many trays you're soaking on what days, and then what you're sowing. How many trays you can click on this. I'll show you that in a second. And how many to uncover. How many trays are coming out of germination. So you can also just click on the day. Like you can go to Wednesday, say here. And Wednesday is going to give you the breakdown of everything, exactly what you're doing. So what you're soaking there, peas, sunflowers, wheatgrass, what you're sowing, all the products that we're sowing for that day. And these numbers are smaller because that's what we're doing for a weekend market. This is our bigger day, which is Friday for sowing. And that's all the stuff that we do for that day. Very, very nice laid out on that. To build this app, it's very, very good. So you have to go to your seeds first, start off with, if you're getting brand new in this. It comes preloaded with some seeds that you got in there if you want, or you can add your own. So if you know what your own are, you can just add them in if you got anything with the add button here. You can add your name, variety, all that up there. Or you can use what they already have built in here for you. Obviously, we went through and built all ours because we have specific seeding rates and all that stuff we do that are probably different than theirs. So definitely just a little bit different. But that's how you build it first, is your seeds. And then you come down and build your crops based off of the seeds. So like the broccoli, like if you go add a new crop, let's say, so test crop, I'll just put, and then you use whatever seed you're going to use. Say you're using borage for that seed, and then you put your rates, all that stuff, germination, how long it takes, everything else that's for yours. And what your yield is that you're getting out of it. So that way it knows what to build for your yield. So if you get 5 ounces and you need 10 ounces, it's going to tell you to build 2 trays. So very nice in that. And then you go in and build your products after that, and you put all your products in. So whatever products you got that you're doing, and then you just put the product name here, what crop it's coming from, what crop you're using to build that one. And it also has blends, so you can put multiple crops here. So say you're doing leeks, and then you're adding a second crop with nasturtiums. Leeks and nasturtiums together. Sure, we'll go with that. And then the portion of mixing of it is. So this one you're doing 60% on, and then you're doing 40% on this one. And then that's going to build out your crop yields on how much you need to make. So it's very nice. And we do a lot of blends. So that was very, very big seller for us that we could do that and put that in there. Very helpful. Cancel that out. And then once you got your seeds in, your crops in, and your products in, Then you can go build your customers. So you can go in and build your customers. Once you build all your customers and everything else, then you're going to go to orders. So your customer specifics, and there's information to put in there, you know, addresses, phone numbers. So I didn't want to show it too fast there. Addresses, phone numbers, and when you're delivering to them, all that stuff. So, but you go into orders now. So you can go into orders. Nice thing about this, you can sort this also just by the harvest date. So 2022, we are in 2022. So all the ones that are harvest that day, the orders are in here. So you know who you're delivering to and all that. You can add a new one right here. You just put your customer in there. Let's go with Carl's getting something. And then you put the date that you're going to harvest that order on. You can put in a repeating weekly or bi-weekly. Most of ours are weekly, but we do have some bi-weekly, so it's nice that that's in there. And then you just build out what date you're going to end it on. I just ended at the end of the year. And then what products. And then that order goes in to the system. And once you put it in there, if it's a weekly customer that's always going to be there, you just put that in there and boom, it's in there. It will never go away until you cancel it out. So that is awesome. And then that's where it goes back onto the tasks that comes and tells you what you're sowing that day for that harvest. And as soon as the tasks load here, so I'm just going to go to a day. It's a little easier. So you go to this Friday, the 7th, and then you're going to have your individual ones there. And then on the side, oh, I forgot to go to day. That's why. Got to click day. So then it's got what you're harvesting for. You know, what you're planting on the 7th, it's for the harvest on the 17th. And then you can go in and look at that orders as well, like what that one is and who's getting it and all that goes to that. So it all ties in very nicely. And then there's this deliveries, which is once you get all that built and everything else and you know what you're building on. Like I said, the tasks are very, very good, helpful. This is the biggest part of it. Once you build all that back in, it all flows into this task. And it tells you what to do on that days. And if you just got orders, there are no new orders are coming in, it's always the same. It just keeps rolling in for you. It's very nice. When you get a new order, you just put it in. It's going to tell you what to grow. As long as you got your numbers and your input in there correctly. But you can go to deliveries. And then we'll go to a Monday delivery. And then nice here. This is kind of like a pick ticket to me, a fill ticket. So when you're going out and delivering that day, you know where to build your orders and you can check it off, print this off, and then check it off. So you know all your customers and you make sure you got all the products in there. It's very helpful. Very nice. So that's that. It doesn't give you like a delivery route or anything. You got to build your own still on that. It doesn't have that. But it does have reporting that you can look at your cells from whatever date to whatever date you want. So that's helpful. We don't really use that much. I still use a spreadsheet for that because they're still building that out. It's a little glitchy sometimes. Stuff is better now. At first, it wasn't rolling into the new numbers that we had for the ounce of cells, but it's still pretty good. You can look at it. And if there's any issues to this, they respond very fast. They also have this known issues area here. They can put in there and support ticket as well. You can add in right away. And then that they respond really fast. Like it was late at night one time we did one and he responded that night, had it fixed by the next morning. So it was very, very good. How to get back? Gotta hit back here. Oh, it took me to another webpage. That's what it did. So that is Seedleaf in a nutshell. Love the program. There is another program that's coming on board. And as soon as it's fully out, we were part of the beta program for a moment on that. And it is a Farm Star and it's Donnie Green's program. And as soon as that one does come out, I'm going to get it fully going. And we're going to go ahead and review that one as well as soon as we get it on and start doing stuff for about a month or so on that one. and then I will review that. That one's going to be more in detail. We'll give you delivery routes. It will help billings and all that stuff. That's going to be more entailed of a whole business in a box basically there. So that's the ideal of it anyway. So we'll see how it turns out, but I will review that when it's there. So that's all the review I have for today on Seedleaf. A real quick review. If you got any questions about it, I can answer any questions. Or any other questions you got, is I'm going to open it up to the floor for questions now. And if you're here, say hello. And if it's your first time tuning in, let me know where you're from. Again, hello, Mitchell. Welcome back to the live. And I'm going to get a drink of water here and do the comments. And Happy New Year to everybody. As we roll into 2022. And there's a link for it. I am not affiliated with them at all. There's no affiliate link to it. I don't make any money if you go do it. Just want to make sure I get information out to you guys of Habit. But it does give you 1 free week, I believe. And it is right now $125 for that app. It's called an app, but it's web-based. I keep calling it an app because that's what it says, app.seedleaf.co, but it's really only web-based. Yep, it's a monthly program, Josh, and it's a $125 per year. So very cheap, in my opinion. $125 per year. Not monthly, per year.
Okay, 30.
Oh, and they must have moved it to 30 days. I see Mitchell asking that. So if that's still on there, I knew he had the 30-day for initial, but I thought he was going to go to a 7. So we did take advantage of the 30-day as well and played with it for 30 days and tried to work all the kinks out of it before I reviewed it. And so far, loving it. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yep, one-time fee, $125. Yep, just a one-time fee. Do you use any seed leaves on field crops, micros only? Yes. I'm not sure if that's what it's intended for, but we manipulate it because we do egg deliveries, home deliveries, and lettuce right now. We might roll other programs in there. So you can play with it and the maturity dates and all that stuff. It doesn't work perfectly like it tells you need to uncover eggs because you got to put all that in there because it's built for microgreens. But so you just got to manipulate it a little bit, which we have done. We have eggs in there and lettuce for the home deliveries that we do. So I do use it for that. We just manipulate it a little bit. So yeah, you definitely can do that. Again, just remember it's going to, like if you do eggs like we do, it's going to tell you to uncover the eggs or uncover the lettuce, which, when we use for the uncovering lettuce is when it's done germinating and it needs to go to the greenhouse or outside. Then, that's when the uncovering would be for it. And then maturity date would be the 60 days out or whatever it is. But it does build that backwards too for you on the lettuce. So like if you put that in for the lettuce and you put it to 60 days, it's going to tell you need to plant it 60 days ahead of time for whatever order that's on. So that is very nice as well. So yeah, I'm not sure I know that's not what it's intended for, but I am definitely using it for that. Yeah. Yep. 30 days, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. It is 30 days still. I'm not sure how long that trial is going to last, if it's going to last for the 30 days all the time, or I do know where they originally were going to release it was only going to be 7 days. So, but I do think you need about 30 days to really get into it and make sure it works for you. Because it does take some time to load all that stuff in and everything else. It took us about a week really to build it out and get everything in it that we wanted in it and everything. So yeah. Anybody else here, say hello. If you're here, let me know where you're tuning in from. It's your first time here. Or if you're on the replay, say replay and where you're from. I always like to see who's back on coming on the replays as well. So what's everybody's goals for the year? What's your goals for 2022? Do you see the? I think I'm okay. Seeds are on the way. Congratulations, Mitchell. What seeds are you starting with? Which ones are you going to start with? I have a recommendation of what I would start with if I'm a first-time grower. I wouldn't start with the one that I started with, which was sunflowers. I'm happy we grow them. We sell a great amount of them. They're great for our mixes, but they are the most time-consuming to harvest. So, yeah, what seeds are you starting with? Or anybody else? What seeds are you starting with? What seeds are you growing? I know everybody's got their favorites. I love eating the sunflowers for sure. Put them in my buttered pecan ice cream. Sandwiches, pretty much everywhere. Sunflowers are good. But that can go for a lot of them. So, but yeah. Anybody else's goals for 2022? I know Mitchell's just starting out, getting his seeds in. Just going to start. And I'm assuming, Mitchell, you're going to do test trials before you start selling anything. Make sure you're growing right. And racks and lights and all that stuff set up. Our goal for 2022, just kind of let you guys know, our goal is, here you go, Mitchell. Yeah. Let's see what you got going on. Sunflower, pea, radish, broccoli, and wheatgrass. Did you get speckled pea, or are you doing green pea, dun pea? Which pea are you doing? Because we grow speckled peas. We started out with green pea, but did not like that grow as much as a speckled pea. Yep, have the rack all set up. Yep, good. Speckled, good. That's a good one, for sure. We are test trialing right now our seeds because we're pretty established of what we're growing and how we want to grow it, as you can see with all our videos on YouTube. But now we're trying more density on the seeds without getting any issues and getting better yield. So more in one tray without getting any issues, and how much can we push that? So one, we use less soil, use less space on the lights, and less energy on the lights, less space on the shelf, all that. So that's our next evolution of the growth, is trying to push that max density to get a better yield. And which radish are you starting with, Mitchell? I need to find a farm, Josh. I need to find a farmer's market and get into grocery stores. Grocery stores are definitely can be a challenge at first. You just got to keep at them. We just picked up another one today. 9, 10. We're in 10, and with 2 more that are on the horizon. One told us no today, but we will get him eventually. But they're just consistently going in there. Make sure you have great packaging and label on them. And don't be afraid to go in to people who are already there. If they already got a grower there. And Josh, if you don't mind sharing, what stores are you targeting? Mom and pops, big brands, local brand, grocery stores? What's your target you're going after first? Go check that seeds. Yeah, which ones you're doing. Yeah. How much we sell per week at each retail location? They all vary. Like we got, I would say the local health stores, the mom and pops, up to the big stores. So the health store, I would call the local health store here, we are selling about 25 units, sometimes 30 units a week to them. And then we are on the bigger end, we're up to about 80 on the big store, the biggest one, we're 80 to 100 units a week, sometime pushing over that 100 units a week. And I anticipate this month we will be pushing over 100 units on 3 or 4 of them at least every week, just because everybody's going to be in a health nut craze. Everybody's going to be eating good and working out and all that stuff. And then Valentine's Day, they'll be done doing all that. But get them when they can. Hopefully they'll like the product and keep eating it. But yeah, that's it. So it varies. So anywhere in between there on the other ones too. I do recommend starting out small when you go into a place. Like the new stores, we're starting them with 4 SKUs, so 4 items, 4 different items, and somewhere between 5 to 10 of each of them units. No more than that. So the max I want to start them out with is 40 units, the max. I don't care how big they are. You kind of want to talk them down to that. One, we don't get any volume discount of that, so it helps us. And we want to make sure they move the products. Because if they move them 40 products, awesome. But if you give them 100 products and they only move 40 products, they're going to be like, this isn't going that well. They might stop. So you kind of want them to run out without running out or getting close to it on the first week or two. So they see that the product's moving and then they're going to want to keep it. So that's my recommendation. Josh, targeting mom and pop stores, that's smart. That's what we did. We went very small at first. And honestly, how we got into grocery stores, to be honest with you, it wasn't necessarily a target for us in the very beginning. It was down the road horizon when we started, but we were 3 or 4 months in, and the local mom and pop health store here contacted us. And then that kind of got us fired in and going to grocery stores, and then we went after them hard after that. Minawasi Radish. Yeah, I've never grown that one. That's a different one for me. Where'd you get that from? Truleaf or Johnny's or? Mitchell, you said price. What is that? Oh, price for that end. Okay, yeah, I got that. Yep. Yeah, you got to watch your prices. And as you build up, you can build bigger bulks. Like we buy the highest amount of seeds that we can buy now. Minimum, the 25-pound bags usually, maybe 5-pound bags on some varieties that we don't sell a lot of. But we are targeting 25-pound bags, get our price down, buying soil in bulk, get your price down on that. But that comes in time as you grow. So build slowly. You don't have to get everything right at first and get that price down at first. So as you grow, you're going to get your better price and make more profit on that. I am going to share probably, I'm not sure, but I do have a spreadsheet that we provided at first of all our products and our profit margin on each product in a spreadsheet. So that way we knew exactly what we were profiting on each product that we sold. So to make sure we were making money, you don't want to be selling something at a loss. And everybody's price is going to be different. And every margin is going to be different. So. My wife just looked up that radish, and it's a daikon radish. So it should be okay. It should be pretty good. It's not going to have the color of some of the radishes. Like we do the Triton purple because it gets that nice reddish stem really on it. And that helps sells it. We are going to be some of the purple ones and some other ones we're going to start growing as well, but for restaurants. But it was a color thing for us is why we got it. Yes, that's right. Name Truleaf. Yep, Truleaf's a good reputable company. Yep. Yeah, so I would. It should be a good one for you. Try it, see how it goes for you. But definitely. What percentage of sales are for us for restaurants? We don't do much restaurants right now. We only got a handful of them, so they're on the smaller end of it. It's really grocery stores, home deliveries, / markets. Markets probably underneath that right now, but markets will trump will be over the home deliveries. Markets will be during the market season, the big market season from May to August or May to October, and then they'll switch just because more people are going to stop usually during market season. They don't do as many home deliveries because they just want to go to the markets. So you'll find that some of them will fall off if you're doing home deliveries. and then they'll come back on when the market stops. Some of the people are going to continue during the market season as well. But so the restaurants are the lower end for us. It's not a big target for us just because we're mainly targeting grocery stores right now and trying to maximize all that out. So yeah, that's kind of our percentage on that. Any other goals for 2022? Mitchell, when are you looking to get your first sale? Josh is looking to get into grocery stores. Do you have a target date that you want to make sure you're in the first grocery store or next grocery store? And if you're watching this and you're watching live or you're watching it on the replay, make sure you like it. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Our radish video will be out tomorrow morning, so you can watch that one. I might show you a clip of it here soon. But yep, that one will be out tomorrow, and then we'll have another one out later in the week as well, or weekend probably, or early next week, one of the two. We're gonna get it done editing it. When my editor gets done editing it, which the editor is my wife. So, but yeah. So you can watch that one, any other our videos as well. And Josh, if I was in, I know you're in the Chicagoland area, I believe. If I remember correctly, I definitely would be targeting restaurants as well. It would be grocery stores and restaurants would be my target. That's another problem. We kind of got to go wide in Central Illinois, just not in our town. If we really want to hit restaurants, there's not enough fancier type restaurants that are using microgreens as much. So, but if I was up there, I definitely would target restaurants. And Mitchell, you're in Peoria. There's enough up there. We thought about hitting that area, so you better get going before we come in there. Just kidding. Mitchell's goal is to get his first few home deliveries before market season. Yeah, market season is a great time to get your home deliveries too, because you get your return customers coming in, and you can have a sign-up sheet for them, or if you're signing up online, if you're using like a Curtis Stone program, the Microgreen blueprint, and you can have them sign up right there, and it filters them in, boom, sends the email out to them. That is the best. And then you ain't got to worry about it in the back end. You can just have them sign up right then and there. Did you say last week you're using polytunnel for Salanova? Yes, we are. Just harvested some of it out today for tomorrow's delivery. So it's still growing. Still doing okay with the coldness. We'll see how long it lasts. I do have some that I'm growing indoors as backups. The ones are on their second growth indoors. Growing them on the microgreen rack as well. If you're watching the videos, you can see clips of it probably behind me on the lettuce when I'm talking and stuff. And then definitely got some other trays that we're doing some deeper 10x20s and spreading them out and growing them in there and seeing how well they grow in there, just to try to get through the winter of our home deliveries. Yeah, Josh, Illinois crew. Yeah, there's some other people in here, but nobody else is commenting. So I don't know if you're here, say hi. Don't just be lurking in the background. Say hi. But I appreciate you watching, tuning in and listening. We can build this Illinois crew up. Get taken over the microgreen area in the Illinois area. The more people that are growing and selling in the area where you're at, the more awareness, the better, for sure. So I want more people growing, and this is, to me, the future. Indoor farming is going to be the future. The way that everything's going in the world, we're going to need to grow food inside, or we're not going to have enough. So I believe this is the future, and that's the reason why I want to be on the forefront of it and be here. So grow room too cold. Josh, what are you at with your grow room? And where is your grow room? Where's your setup? Indoors, greenhouse? What are you doing? Or Mitchell, I'm sorry, not Josh, Mitchell. Where is your grow room? Because ours is all indoors, obviously. So, Scott, hello, how are you? Yes, multitasking, but listening in. That's fine as well, Scott. No problem there. And good evening and Happy New Year to you. We are, even though we're growing indoors with the cold temperatures that we've had, we do have a little tiny box space heater, I guess, and it sets temperatures on it. We got it set at 74 to help regulate the temperature a little bit in here. It's warm still, so it helps out just to make sure we were staying at temp with the negative wind chills that came in. So definitely got that control for sure. Yeah. In the basement, basements are good grow area. Like most people start out in their basements. We didn't. We started out in the grow room up here and everything. So that we had, our grow room is our spare living room, formal living room. We took over. We were never using it anyway, and we use it for our microgreen grow, which I'm going to have a farm tour up here soon. That's going to be in the next week or two. I'm going to have a farm tour so you guys can see everything about our farm and how we operate it, how we run it. And I'll show clips of where we started, because we definitely didn't start where we're at now. We started very, very rudimental, and I'll show you some really bad videos I try to do in the beginning as we go through that as well. But move it. If you can move it upstairs and you can regulate temperatures better, I definitely recommend that. For sure. Our Facebook group. We also have a Facebook group that we help run that is for Illinois microgreen growers. It's the International Microgreen Growers Support Group, I think is what it is. Growers Association, sorry. Growers Association. That's the link there for it. And that's for in Illinois. If you guys can help me build that Facebook page as well, I'd appreciate it as we continue to try to grow that and get more and more stuff on there as we go. But definitely, if you want to jump on that Facebook page, I'd appreciate it a lot. So yeah, that's International Microgreen Grower Association of Illinois. That's a mouthful. But yep, that's in conjunction with Lisa Welsh, who's in Florida, that runs the whole International Microgreen Growers Association in total. And we're taking care of the Illinois chapter. So since we have the Illinois crew in here, a lot of Illinois crew in here, go ahead and make sure that you go in and like that. And anybody else can too that's not in Illinois, you're welcome to join that Facebook group as well, as we keep posting more stuff in there and try to grow that. Sure. Josh is asking me what my goals for 2022, any plans for expansion, and do you have a worst pack for your field? So I'll take them one by one. Goals for 2022. We are working on getting, sales-wise, we are working on getting to, our first goal is now to 2,500 a week in sales. Main goal is to get to 3,500 by the end of the year in consistent sales, not counting farmer markets, because they're only for a good 5-6 months max, not even probably that long that you're going to get them. So sustainable $3,500 a week by the end of the year goal. So that's that, and that would lead to the expansion. We get to that point, we're going to be hiring, probably expand more into the garage, get that set up all the way to be in a complete grow room, as well as a harvesting area, seeding area, all of that out there. So it's all in one area. Right now it's kind of split, which you'll see in the farm tour that's coming up. And then beyond that, that's 2022 goals, and to hire our first full-time employee along with that. And then expansion would be in the 2023 and getting probably off-site location, warehouse, building, old bakery, something along that lines. And we do have a worst packed field. We kind of use that in combination with the microgreen harvesting as well. We have a 3-compartment sink. We have a bubbler. We have a hand sink out there. We have another sink, utility sink out there, along with a drying rack with fans on top and a net down there, but also double as a table. So, but be out to look out for the Microgreen Farmer Tour. And we also have a walk-in cooler out there. It's a 10 by 12 walk-in cooler that we got from a restaurant shutting down, and got it for a very, very cheap price. So the CoolBot that we're buying to cool it off will cost more than the cooler cost. That tells you how much we got it for. So, yep. Thanks, Mitchell, for getting on that. Hopefully, I answered all your questions there, Josh. If you want me to go more detail, let me know. Hello, Royal House Microgreens. Welcome to the show. Do you grow basil, and what is your process for it? I'm having some issues. We grow full-size basil. We don't do the microgreen basil. We sell the herbs at the markets in a 3x3 container. That's how we grow our basil. The microgreen grows on the plans for this year for basil. So I will be able to help you probably mid-year. That's kind of the target for that. Or maybe a little sooner, but we'll see. But by mid-year, I'm going to be growing basil, microgreen basil. It's just I do not have the current space to grow it as a microgreen with everything else that we're doing. So as we expand racks, I can still get in the current grow space that we got 2, 3, 6 more racks. So I can get to 15 total racks in the grow space that we're in. And then once we're beyond that, that's when we'll be expanding out. So, and then adding in more products as we go. Our next one we're going to be doing is probably amaranth. And then red cabbage is the second one. Them are the next two kind of on our horizon. So no micro basil yet. Just space constraints, and we're not selling it yet. We got to make sure we have room for the cells that we currently have. And Josh, I hope I answered all your questions there. Yep. I grow basil under lights in soil in the 3x3s. And yes, it's profitable. People at markets are always looking for that fresh stuff if you're selling at a market. We don't sell it commercially or anything like that. It's just a market. And then if anybody wanted home deliveries, we could. We haven't really targeted that yet, but definitely profitable. We just went with the price point at the market last year to make everything simple. We made sure everything was $5 when we sold it. So it was just all $5, and at the market, nobody ever complained or questioned the cost of it and everything else. Going further, we are reducing the price a little bit on some of the stuff, and going to the $3.99 in grocery store price point, $4 at the market, just because we've reduced our cost. And I think we can move some more units now that we're there, but keep it simple in the beginning as you can. Definitely high recommendation of keeping it simple. Yep, when I grow everything, guys, I grow it first before I'm even going to sell it or know that I'm going to sell it. If I think I want to sell it, we're going to grow it first. Make sure what the grow time is, get everything down. That goes for microgreens, lettuce, anything that you grow and selling, making sure that we got it down, the grow time, and then we yield on it and make sure the profitability is there before we're going to sell it. So I start out with a very small amount of seeds of whatever I get, and then make sure I can grow it and it's profitable and the numbers all work out for it, and then I sell it. We've had crops that we did that just didn't work out profit margin wise, growth time on the shelf, taking up too much space, like nasturtiums, that we just cut off because it just wasn't a profitable item. For the space, the time, we made money on it. It was a high profitability, but just the time on the shelf was a constraint to be able to get everything else in on there. So definitely something there. I have chefs that want basils, but I don't know if I can complete the Gotham. And yeah, basil is definitely a longer grow time too. So make sure, when you're going in that, even at the micro, it's a longer grow time. It's from what I know, it's going to be minimum 3 weeks. You're probably pushing 4 weeks on it. So that's a lot of space to take up on your shelves when you're turning. 99% of our crops are 10 days. I think we got them all down to 10 days now. Yeah. All the crops that we're currently growing are down to 10 days growth. So space-wise, that's just what we're growing, and it makes it very easy. But expansion-wise, yes, as Mitchell says, this is another thing that's on the list for this year is the edible flowers. Technically, nasturtiums are the edible flower that we were growing. Technically, that is, you can grow that full size into a flower and eat it, but we were just growing it to the petals to sell it to restaurants. But again, just time constraints on the shelf. So we stopped growing that one. And you have to grow it in a deeper container. It's not the shallow 10 by 10s. You have to grow it in the, see behind me, point right way. The deeper ones, you have to grow it in there. So you're using more soil, you're more time. So you can't grow everything, especially when we're all growing in a small space. Just keep that in mind when you're starting out. I would not recommend starting with any of that stuff. That's a long time. But definitely try to stick with that 10-day growth cycle because that's an easy growth cycle to manage. But, we do have cilantro. It takes 3 weeks. Beets are a 3-week crop. But everything that we're selling currently is a 10-day grow. And that's the reason why we kind of were switching from our beets to the amaranth because we get the red still, which is what the restaurants want, and it's you can get that grown in 10 days. So that's why we kind of switched to that as well. Love growing edible flowers. We go borage. Yep, edible flowers are awesome. Highly recommend them if you got the space for them. They're great. They look good. You can put them into your products, make it stand out a little bit more. All that stuff. They look good on a table to market. Bakeries for the cupcakes and all their other desserts and everything else. That's definitely a target you can go after and go after bakeries, which a lot of people don't do. So that's definitely a target you could go with the edible flowers. Raw House, do you grow them to sell commercially? And are you targeting bakeries or where are you selling them at? And I have a couple bakeries here that I have connections with that we definitely could probably grow them and sell them there. But again, I got to get more racks before I do that. Know your space, know your time constraints, and don't try to do something that would kill your business on other stuff. So you got to keep your core business. Restaurants and bakeries, yep. Yeah, the restaurants like the nice Philly stuff too, the high-end restaurants for sure. So, yeah. What other questions, guys? Or shoe chefs all want the flowers? Yeah, definitely. Definitely, if you fit that in there, Josh, I recommend going after it because that's a target that you definitely can go after. So it's on our plan here very soon to go with. So, hello, Red Dawn. How much soil do you use for 10-20 trays? And about how much trays do you get from a soil belt, 3.8 cubic? We use just under 3 liters. We started out with 3 liters. We are trimming it back slightly to about 2.5 liters and seeing the growth are just fine on that, just to save some cost on the soil because soil cost is can get you if you're not careful. So just to try to, again, we're tweaking things, but 3 liters is what we started with, and currently the bells that we're using are the Pro Mix BX, which we find is the best growth for us, and they are 2.8 liters, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's 2.8 liters, and we get 28 trays out of that. So cubic feet. Sorry, 2.8. I said that wrong. 2.8 cubic feet, and we get 28 trays out of that. I'm very happy with that. And we're getting, with the BX, we get very good yields. We tried the MP. The MP did not do well for us at all. It was not fine enough. And arugula, for one, did not hold up in it at all. It all dampened off and died off. And the BX holds it amazingly. If you watch our arugula video, we use BX in that. ProMix BX, and got that perfect growth on it and great yield. So yeah, we're not using the big bells. 2 reasons. 1, I can't find the BX in the big bell right now. 2, it's a lot easier to break up in the 2.8 instead of the big bells. It's a lot easier to break up. Time wise, it goes a lot faster when you're breaking it up, getting it in there, when you're putting stuff in. So it's kind of a trade off a little bit. If you can get the big bells, it's going to be much better for your money cost. But the BX and the 2.8 still work good for us for our money cost and our profit margin. So definitely does well. And that's the soil that I recommend right now. I will get other soil and do soil tests. Do not recommend any of the all-purpose Pro Mix. Used to do great, and we kind of started with that one, and it did great, but I don't recommend it at this time. I just think they're using it as lower quality. So we went to BX, the HP, the MP. HP? MP was bad. We will try to get the HP and do a soil test on that as well and see how that goes. And then equate whether we want to move to that. But the cost on the bells on the 2.8, the BX, we getting them for right around $22 each. So, and the yields have been amazing on them ever since we switched to that a few months ago. So, I do not shift the ProMix BX. I just break it up by the bag. Just throw the bag around. Get your workout in for the day when you're breaking up all the bells, all the bags, and toss it around, throw it around. And the good thing about them bags in the 2.8, they hold together well. They're not going to pop out most of the time because they got the little tiny holes in them for aeration. And you can throw them babies around and get your workout in. So you don't need a gym as a farmer. You can find ways to work out. So you throw that around, and then you may mix it up a little by hand when you get it in the toter. But really, it's broken up really good after that. So, and that's another reason why we went to it, because it's just so much easier to break up. All right. Radon, business question. What do you use for credit card purchasing process? We use 2. We use Square and QuickBooks. And we mainly use the QuickBooks for business, for restaurant payments. They pay through that for the most part. And then for the farmers markets, because we get the little squares with them for free. We got one here. So they come with these little squares. We got 2 of them because we split markets on Saturdays, me and my wife. So we got them from QuickBooks, and then it was a way to keep things separated from Square and QuickBooks. But then when restaurants are paying through that as well, but it can keep track of it as that. But, and then all our grocery stores pay by check. Yeah, they all pay by check. Here on the EBT for farmers markets, there's a special card that they use, Healthy Ways card, and the market, you take it on an app on your phone, and then the market sends you a check every month. The one market. The other market pays us immediately. The other market's a week. Every week they pay. So each market's a little different on it. And the one market we go to, actually the ones that pay that, they pay the next week. They got to go at the stand and get their tokens for it, and then they pay. But we don't take the EBT directly. It's through the market. Because we have not got set up for that and currently don't really need to. So with the markets doing that for us. So, but either Square, and Square's got these little things too you can get. Just QuickBooks give them to us for free as well. So, and it was just a good way to keep things kind of separated and better tracking for us for where the sales were coming from. What other questions, guys? Got about 9 minutes to go. Got any other questions? Comments? Use Square for your website as well? Yes. And to be honest, we could build our website out a lot better than it has been. We just haven't had time to really dive into it. It's pretty good. It's decent. But when you're focused on grocery stores, direct to consumers, and restaurants, it's not, you don't really need a fancy website. It helps out. Some people get to see that you have a website and your presence on there, but we haven't built it out fancy or anything for sure. How do I pay myself? Depends on where we're at in the business. Like right now, we aren't really taking any money from the business just because we're building it. But we built up, stockpile of money. And how we did start it, when we decided that we were going to run a business, wife already didn't have a job because of the situation with the pandemic. I quit my job and went full into this along with doing gig stuff to make up that money while we were building the business in the beginning. So went out and did gig work. And so that way I could concentrate on the business when I needed to concentrate on the business. And then basically we just take the money out during the busy times. Right now we're just not, and we're okay right now. So, but we are paying ourselves a percentage of the business for sure, is what we were doing. And then we decided in January, February, and March, we weren't going to take any money because that's going to be our building season of the business again, just like we did last year. January, February, March was the building season. We built it, and then we started taking out 50% of sales from there. So that way it left money in the business to build the business as well. So during the busy seasons, not counting the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March, all the rest basically was 50% of sales is what I was paying myself. Return on investment, we probably were 6 months in. Maybe not even that long, really. Like, probably by the end of May, we had everything paid for that we had in the business. So, and obviously the way we did that is we had the amount of money to buy the things that we needed to initially start. And it was 2 simple racks, just a minimal lighting, the minimal trays you needed, and then we bought off of the profits. And that's why we only took 50% of sales. And that's the way it works for us for our profit margin, and still left money, a good amount of money in there to be able to buy more equipment, buy more racks, buy more lights, buy more trays. And the same thing today holds true of that. And that's the reason why we're doing it, only taking that amount of money, is so we can grow the business. So everybody's going to be different on that, of how you can do it. But during that busy season, soon we started kicking in. We were taking 50% of the money, which led to being able to not take any money for this next 3 months of the year, this January, February, March. And then we'll kick in again in April, probably start taking 50% of the money out. But this 3 seasons is our building season of the business. And that's probably going to hold true for the nearest future. And just have that building season of where we leave the money in the business to build the business. But you got to do it right and build your money up during that busy part and have it. So you're going to be different. We could still take 50% and deal with that and be just fine, but that's what we find works great for us. Well, we had a LLC for a different business was still active last year, but we let that expire. We are just doing a DBA, or doing self proprietorship. No LLC or self corporation. And the reason why you want to get that stuff is for protection. We are currently still growing in our house. Even if we had an LLC, if something went wrong within the house, it's not going to really protect us because growing in the house. If you look into it, kind of found out that, sole proprietorship. Right down. So found out that the LLC doesn't have a lot of protection, so there wasn't any reason to buy and pay to get incorporated and go through all that process and everything like that. So when we move out of the house, when that goes and we get a off-site location, that's when we will be looking to do the incorporation. You don't need it at first. There's no real tax benefit of it. So that's this for us. That is not legal advice of any kind. That is this for us and what we're doing. I don't even know what that one was. So, what other questions, guys? Comments? Drink some good old water. Stay hydrated. All right. Any questions on Seedleaf? Anybody has any questions on that or anything else that we use? Or all right. Well, we do have a new video coming out that I have it here somewhere. I lose track of things. Too many screens. My current computer, I have 4 screens on. I'm getting ready to split that off and only have 2. But it's too many. So this is in the video that's coming out tomorrow. That thanks, Mitchell. Appreciate that. That it will be coming out tomorrow morning. I think premieres at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Yep. And yeah. So this is the video. It's our radish grow. So that's a little preview of it. This is our radish grow. I know somebody asked earlier, Josh, I think it was you that asked it what setup was there in our harvest room, in our workstation. This is our 3-compartment sink back there. A little sneak preview of you guys for our farm tour. That's our 3-compartment sink back there. Our bubblers back there, and our drying rack is kind of behind this cooler that we also use along with the walk-in cooler there. So that 10 by 12 walk-in cooler that we have. So that's the video that will be coming out tomorrow at 7 a.m. I appreciate everybody. If you could go watch it. Yeah. I don't have it. I don't see that.
No, Josh asked how the campgrass is going.
Oh, sorry, Josh. I missed your question there. How's the cat grass sales going? They are going well. We We sell to the Market Wagon. They go great there. We sell a tray roughly a week, somewhere 6 to 8 5x5s to them a week. We have a grocery store that takes about 16 of them a week. Another one that does 12. Another one that does 8. And working on a few other ones. So we're building that as well. But yeah, we're taking that and we're dropping our price down. So we're going to hopefully even move it. Talking too long. Move more of them as we go, for sure. Red Dawn, purple blinking lights or cool white or warm lights. Yeah, we use just what is it called? Barina full spectrum lights. They're white. Being that our grow room we're in our grow room all the time. I don't want, Barina. I don't want the purple, red, blue, all that stuff to mess with your eyes. You'd have to have glasses on if you're in there. If you have a warehouse or an off-site place where you can run the lights at night when you're not in there, they're great. And you're probably going to get a little bit better growth, but nothing that I think is going to make that huge of a difference. I know some people swear by them, but being in here, there's no way I could handle having them in our grow room and being in it all the time. So that's why we use the Barina white, LED white ones. And they work great. They're a great price. We do have a link on that on our YouTube videos. You can check that out. And on the description down below this as well. You can click on them. You can check them out. Currently are not got an affiliate with them at all. Do not have an Amazon affiliate right now. Our channel is not big enough for that yet. But you can go check them out and buy them there as well, if you would like. Any last minute questions, guys, as I get ready to sign off for the day? It was great talking to everybody. I hope everybody has a successful 2022 and keeps growing, doing great. And if you guys could make sure, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I appreciate it highly if you do. And go watch the new video tomorrow that's going to be out at 7 a.m. right there, the Radish Grow. And appreciate it highly of everybody tuning in tonight. And we will be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time as well as every Tuesday. And come in with your questions, and we'll have another setup that we'll do something on. So appreciate everybody. Thank you. Happy New Year. And keep on growing. See you later.